It was Albert Einstein that said true religion is real living, living with all of one's soul, all of one's goodness, and righteousness. The word righteousness is a word today that brings some distance when it comes to man and God. If you will, there is a coldness, a hardness within this idea of righteousness that sometimes hurts our connection with God. We seem to step back and feel like we're not able to get as close to God as we desire to be. The word righteous means right or just. And within the context here of this passage that David shares in Psalm 23, verse 3, he brings out this idea of a connectedness with God, God as his shepherd. Within the close proximity of a sheep and a shepherd relationship, this connection that David has with God is a connection like a parent to a child, as a child is beginning to take their first step. You see, as a parent is teaching their child to take those first steps, they simply reach down with their hand to their child, and that child in return reaches up, taking their hand. They are righteous, they're right with one another as that child takes their first steps. They are righteous, just as man with God are righteous. David says that within the context of that righteousness and being led in the path of righteousness, that something takes place. And that something is that the name of God, a name that was so holy that the Hebrew people would not even speak it, that name that had so much value to them was going to be made much of. David says that the name of God is precious. And as he walks in those paths of righteousness, it's for the purpose of God's name being glorified. How is your righteousness today? Are you actively and with intention reaching out for God? Because his hand is reaching out for you to lead you in those paths of righteousness. Say yes to the righteousness of God today and be prepared for others to witness the power of God and give praise to who he is and how he is actively engaged in your life.